Hello everyone and welcome to the hands-on demo on Amazon CloudFront. So in this demo, we will create an S3 bucket and upload a sample HTML file. We will create a CloudFront distribution. We will configure the S3 bucket for CloudFront access. And finally, we will test the CloudFront distribution. We will also check out some CloudFront features related to behaviors. And finally, we will clean up all the resources. So this is the demo overview. So first we will be creating an S3 bucket. Then we will be creating a CloudFront distribution. We will be enabling this CloudFront distribution to talk to S3, and we will be adding one bucket policy here so that this will be given access to the CloudFront distribution. And finally, through our browser, we will test the CloudFront distribution, which will be serving content which is in the S3 bucket, and there will be a sample HTML file. So first step is to create a S3 bucket. So I am at console home. I will search for S3 and open that. Also I am working in US East 1, North Virginia default region. Click create bucket, provide a name. So I'll copy the name. Make sure you replace the last character numbers with some random numbers so that there is no conflict with anybody, because this is universally unique. So I'll paste this, but I'll make sure I'll add just randomly type few numbers and keep all the settings as default and click on create bucket. So next step is to add a HTML file. So I have a sample HTML file. You can copy the whole file and paste in any editor of your choice. So I'll just paste this and save it. I have saved it to desktop. Now I have to upload this file to the S3 bucket. So I go to S3 bucket, click the bucket which I just created and click on upload. Add files and desktop, select the file and click on upload. So upload succeeded. So the file is now in the S3 bucket. Next I have to create a CloudFront distribution. So I'll search for CloudFront. I will open this in a new tab. So first thing we have to do is select the origin. So what will be the origin of which is kind of a backend for the CloudFront. So click on create CloudFront distribution. So here if you just select, so you can select Amazon S3, Elastic Load Balancer, API Gateway, Media Store Container, Media Package Container and Media Package V2 endpoints. So these are all the supported backend. Because I don't have any other object, so that's why this is grayed out. In case I have a Elastic Load Balancer or API Gateway, this will also show up. So I have to choose one of the which is enabled. So I'll take this S3 bucket, and origin path I can keep default. Name I will just let it be the default one only. Then for the origin access, so I can select origin access control settings. This is the recommended. So this will this will require a bucket policy to be attached to the S3 bucket, and only that this distribution will be given access to the bucket. So I take this setting, and herein I have to create a origin access control. So I click create new OAC and keep the name as it is default, and just select the default signing behavior, which is to sign request, and this is the recommended. So we have seen all these settings and click on create. So origin access, this automatically gets populated, and rest all the settings is default. So this got populated. So let's scroll down, and default cache behavior is to so automatically it is a good setting that compress objects automatically. So when it is trying to fetch from S3 bucket, it will compress and keep at the edge locations. And viewer protocol policy, I will say redirect HTTP to HTTPS. So nobody can directly access from HTTPS. They will be always they can use HTTPS or HTTP. Keep the default setting and cache key and origin request. So I'll just check out the policy. So just keep the default cache policy and origin request policy recommended. Additional settings and function association, and for the web application firewall you have to select one of them. So I'll just say do not enable, but you can always use web application firewall to protect your CloudFront also. Rest all settings are fine. So herein this one is related to performance and price. So you can say distribute the object to all the locations. So when user requests your index or HTML file or any images, they will be cached at all the edge location. So this will give best performance, but it will be costing bit higher. So if your customers are there in specific location, you can choose the ones which are applicable to you. But for this is just a demo and I'll be deleting it. So I'll just say use all edge location. And rest all setting is fine. So finally create distribution. So after a few seconds the distribution will be ready and active. So next step is to copy the policy. So when I was doing this I got logged out, so that's why I did not see this particular warning. If you are doing it and if you do it immediately, you will see this particular pop-up and you click on copy policy. But in case you get logged out or refresh or go to some other tab, this will not show up again, but I will be doing it manually so that you don't have to worry. So in case it shows up, you just click on copy policy and that will be copied to your clipboard. So now what this particular step is, we are creating a bucket policy. So that bucket policy is saying who can access me. So this copy policy, it is given by the CloudFront to the S3 bucket, and that allow S3 bucket to let CloudFront access the S3 bucket. So for this we go to S3 bucket and edit bucket policy. So I go to S3 bucket and under permissions, click on permissions. You will see bucket policy and you click on edit. And you have to copy paste the whole policy. So this, in case you are lucky and you're doing it in one shot, you will see this and copy paste it from here all the way till here. But since I missed it, I'll be doing it manually. So this is how the policy looks like. And for this you have to get two objects. One, this is going in this particular S3 bucket policy. So we are adding this, and what we are saying here is that this resource which is the target, which is the demo bucket, the whole bucket name, should be given access by this particular object. So this is accessing this. So this is what this policy says, and we just have to copy paste the ARN. So we need the ARN of bucket and the distribution. So if you go to S3 bucket, you can copy the bucket ARN from, you click the bucket name and under properties, so you will see this whole thing. So just click this button and this will copy the bucket ARN. And for the CloudFront, this is the ARN of the CloudFront. So if you copy this, so you have to copy two objects and paste in this particular JSON. So anyway I have done it beforehand, so I'll copy the whole thing and go to S3 bucket policy. So I have to go to permissions and click on edit and just paste the whole thing and save changes. So this will allow access for the CloudFront to access this particular whole bucket. Save changes, and now we will test the CloudFront distribution. So we are done with all the settings and all the configuration. So first this is just to copy the distribution URL. So now we are accessing S3 bucket through the CloudFront. So if you go to, so I have to go to CloudFront, right? So copy the distribution domain name. So this is the URL. So I copy it and open a new tab. So just have to do HTTP, because we have put a policy which says redirect HTTP to HTTPS. Okay, so it has automatically given me the HTTPS URL. So I'll just show you that part also. And then finally, I will specify the file name, which is index.html. Press enter. So you can see hello from CloudFront, and the content is being served through Amazon CloudFront. So this is the HTML which is there in the S3 bucket, but it is being served through the CloudFront. So the advantage that we are seeing here is this content will be cached at CloudFront, and they have huge number of edge locations all over the world. So in this case, you are doing improving the performance because it gets cached and it gets served by. So in case of a simple HTML, it may not look big or major significant performance improvement, but for a big website, especially JPEG, MP3 and other kind of assets, this will make a huge difference, because everything will be spread out and distributed as the name suggests, and it will be cached at all the edge locations. And second thing, because now CloudFront is acting as a middleman, so you can have implement much better security at the CloudFront. And CloudFront you can also integrate with the web application firewall, so that also gives you benefit of avoiding or preventing any kind of DDoS attack or web attacks. So we have seen this, and last thing is cache behavior settings. So there is nothing, because default settings are all good. So I'll just show you. So in case you want to change any settings, so we have to come to behaviors and click this and edit. So here you will change most of the settings we have done already, and you can actually cache policy and origin request policy recommended, but in case you want, you can always select this. So I'll go back, because default is already correct. It was already cache optimized, so you can choose this. Other than that, there is nothing to be done here, because all the recommended settings are there. But I just wanted to show you for the real world projects, you will most likely change the behavior, or you will add some new behaviors also. So if I go to distributions, there is one you can create. You have to go to behaviors, and you can create other behaviors also. So how you want to, so you can have some different types of assets, for example MP3, JPEG or HTML or static JS files, how you want to serve them. So you can also, because it's saying default star, so basically it's serving everything from one particular behavior. So this is what I showed you. So now we'll just clean up all the objects. So first is to disable the distribution, because we cannot delete directly. So I go to distributions and select disable. So this is disabled, and this is what I was talking about. First it will always go into deploying state, and then it will let me delete. So I think I'll go ahead and delete the S3 bucket. So I will come back to it, and next is to empty the S3 bucket. So I am in the bucket, and if I just click here, I will select the bucket and empty. Copy paste this particular text. Okay, exit, and the bucket is empty now, and I can delete the bucket now. So type in the whole name. So bucket is deleted, and let me go back to CloudFront, and okay. So I'll just pause the video, and when it's ready, I will delete. So after a minute or two, it is disabled, and I can go ahead and delete the distribution. So now the distribution is deleted, and I have already done the emptying and deleting the S3 bucket. And that's all. Thanks for watching.